I said it was up to the citizens of Pennsylvania, and of course, but I will tell you all this, if I lived in Pennsylvania, I would have already cast my vote for John Fetterman for many reasons.
So that's a pretty big endorsement, sort of, for John Fetterman, especially considering that Oprah Winfrey kind of made Dr. Oz. I don't know how many times he was on her show, but it was many times over many years. He became prominent partially as a result of that. But despite that, she can apparently recognize that he is not who she used to think he was, I guess, that he would not be a good pick for senator. And she has thrown her support towards John Fetterman. Brett, what do you think?
I think that Oprah's, creation of Dr. Oz is just another little million little pieces moment where she had a book club book that it turned out was based on a lie and was a total grift. Like Dr. Oz is the exact same thing. And I'm happy that she is able to call that out. It's not the first time she's had to do something like that. And she does a daily show where she's just trying to share with people like ways to be happy and things to think about and talk about and open up about. She is a warm, leaderly figure in the public eye, and she's doing what the responsible, warm, leaderly figure would do and should do when they understand they're in the public eye, which is come out on the side of what's reasonable and what actually helps, as opposed to some weird antagonistic attempt for attention, which it seems like so many in the media opt for when given the chance.
Well, John Fetterman, of course, is thrilled to have this high-profile endorsement. He tweeted out, "Welcome to #Team Fetterman, Oprah." Fetterman called her endorsement an honor and privilege, saying she's a leader on so many issues, fighting for our democracy, passing common sense gun reform, and ensuring racial justice. I'm grateful for Oprah's support and trust on the issues that matter to people across the country in Pennsylvania as we close out this campaign. Dr. Oz has not responded. I am not expecting much of a response from him. I will say, though, that as we cruise towards the final days of this race, there's like a lot of polling that seems to indicate that debate didn't really have an effect. There's a few that imply that the race might be a little bit closer. My final assumption launching into the midterms is that this is basically a coin flip at this point. And a lot of what is going to determine the way that this race goes is baked into many of these races. It's how accurate has the polling actually been? How significant have the shifts in these past couple of weeks been? The races are just so close. But I would remind you, as we tried to remind people during our Fall Guys tournament yesterday, that if you have not yet voted, first of all, that's weird. You watch a political show every day. Why are you not voting? But also get out there and vote and encourage others to vote, especially in areas where you can just mail it in and stuff like that. But if you can help get people out there, if you can encourage them to participate. I know a lot of people have been driven out of politics by how terrible things have been over the past few years. But your vote still does matter. The stakes are as high as they've ever been. So please take part in these elections. Brett, what do you think?
I agree that people should vote. And if they can't think of who to vote for me. I'm running for everything.
There are good voter guides. If you don't know some of your local elections, ballot initiatives and things like that, I would look into it. By the way, looking into other races is also Oprah Winfrey, who says that the Fetterman-Oz one isn't the only race that matters. I'm sure she would prefer to not be focused on too much in regards to Oz's past. She says, if I was in North Carolina, Sherry Beasley there. If I was in Florida, I'd be supporting Val Demings. If I was in Wisconsin, it'd be Mandela Barnes. In Nevada, it's Cortez Masto. Beto O'Rourke in Texas, Raphael Warnock, Stacey Abrams. These are basically, I guess, the people you would expect. I don't think that she would be like a big, like she's for John Fetterman, but then like believes Stacey Abrams should be driven out of politics. These make sense, I think. But anyway, I know she has a big following. Her pressuring people probably is more significant than a lot of individuals. So I'm glad that she's using that power here.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.